Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? So here we are at Wickham's Got Talent, our fifth Wickham's Got Talent. That is pretty cool. And, all right, yeah. So my name is Matt Feldudo. I'll be your host tonight, as usual. I just thought, as I thought about this 5 years of Wickham's Got Talent, I've been thinking a lot about it. It's kind of cool. And I just wondered how many people were at the very first Wickham's Got Talent. Let's hear applause. Okay, all right. How many people were at the second Wickham's Got Talent? Okay, all right. Third, fourth, and how many people were at the fifth Wickham's Got Talent? That was my way to get cheap applause. All right, good job, everybody. So here's the thing. I think back about that first Wickham's Got Talent, and we had no idea how it was going to go. We didn't know if we'd get 10 kids or all of the kids. Who knew? We didn't know how many acts we'd have. We weren't sure what was going to happen. And if we had too few acts, I thought, well, I got to go out and get some more people to do this. If we had too many acts, we talked about, well, how are we going to decide who gets to be in the show or not? And these were the things we were not sure about. Turns out, we got just the right number of acts to create a show, and that's worked out every single year. It's been perfect, and we're so lucky to have just the right amount. Everybody has always gotten to perform if they've wanted to at Wickham's Got Talent, and we hope to keep doing that. But at that first Wickham's Got Talent, I remember being backstage, walking out onto the stage here, and looking out over the audience, and then I introduced the very first act. And the very first act of Wickham's Got Talent, the first show, was a little fifth grade girl, blonde hair, blue dress, cute as a button, and she came out and she sang the national anthem. And after she was done singing the national anthem, the roar of the crowd and the applause just rolled over her. I think she practically skipped off stage. But here's what I remember most. I was backstage, and her mom was also backstage with me, Melissa. And I looked over at her mom while her daughter was singing, and what I saw in her eyes was love and pride in what her daughter was doing. And that's when I knew this was something special. Every year, this is something special for the kids, for the parents, and for our community. And that's why I'm so proud to be a part of it. And I thank all of you for doing that with us all these years. Now, so I have a surprise for you, but before I get to that, can we take the house lights the rest of the way out? Thank you. So I have a surprise for you. That little fifth grade girl is now in ninth grade at West High. She's in the show choir, the award-winning show choir, I might add, and she has graciously agreed to come back and open our fifth show the same way she opened our first show. So please stand, put your hand on your hearts, and let's hear it from Marika Nielsen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? So before Matt kicks me off the stage, I just wanted to say something. What? The mic's not on. There, now the mic's on. Doesn't make a difference. I just wanted to thank Matt for all of the hard work that he's put into this show, for all of your kids, and for me, because it really inspired me to sing, and I just wanted to give him a big round of applause and thank him for all the hard work.
All right. So on with the show. Now we move on to piano selections, part 1. And we will hear from Maya, Catherine, Joe, Anya, and Waylon. Here they come. Nice job, piano players. Very good, very good. All right, our next act, we have a singer for you, and it is Caroline, and she will sing the song Reflection.
Look at me, I will never pass for a perfect bride or a perfect daughter. Can it be? I'm not meant to play this part. Now I see that if I were truly to be myself, I would break my family's heart. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? Why is my reflection someone I don't know? Somehow I cannot hide who I am, though I've tried. When will my reflection show who I am inside? When will my reflection show who I am inside?
Next, we have Piano Selections, Part 2. We will hear from Evelyn, Kate, Dylan, and Annika. All right. So, as we set up for the next act, periodically through the show, I thought I'd just share some memories of Wickham's Got Talent past. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is just last year's show. And there's two acts in particular that jump out at me. Now, every year there are so many great acts, so just picking two is really hard. But I did anyway. And the first one I wanted to mention while we set up here is every year for the last 3 years, we've had a Bollywood act, right? And there's usually 8 or 9 little girls in these wonderfully colorful Indian costumes dancing their hearts out, and I love it every time. I always look forward to it, and it's going to be the act that closes our first act tonight. The other one that that struck me from last year was Anya Emerson dancing to Swan Lake. Do you remember that from last year? Those of you who were here? She was dressed all in white, and she danced a beautiful ballet number. She was in Point even, in 6th grade, dancing just beautifully. And it was just so much fun to see her perform last year. Every year there are so many great acts. And one of the things that is so exciting about this year is finally, after 5 years, I've got some parents performing too. Yes! Every year I come out here and say, boy, I sure wish I'd get some parents on stage. Well, this year is the year. We have 3 parents who are coming out to perform with their kids right now. We have first Alexis on violin, accompanied by her mom, Danielle, on piano, followed by Aaron and Henry, accompanied by Henry's mom, Mina, and they're on violin. And then finally we'll have Kate on ukulele, accompanied by her dad, Jason. So let's hear it for them. Here they come.
blah, blah, blah. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forests to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond desert. And all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me.
Nice job, kids. And how about those parents? Okay, here's my challenge for next year. I want to see a daddy-daughter dance to Uptown Funk. Who's doing it? Me? Oh, yeah, right. That would not go well. That would not. What did I do? As we set up for the next act. Oh boy, I want to remember a couple of acts from 2 years ago, 2014. One that really struck me was Jenna, who had done acts in previous years with other kids, but that was the year that she came out and sang by herself. She sang "Maybe" from Annie, and she nailed every note and all of the emotion of the song. It was a great performance, and it was so cool to see her grow from this little girl to this great performer with that confidence and to stand on this stage and sing. So that was one that always stood out for me. Another one that stood out from that same year was Barbara Manatee. I don't know if you guys remember that one. That was crazy. Now, I'm not familiar with VeggieTales, which I guess is what it's from, but here's what I saw. Emma Furlong was a man, complete with a mustache. Enola Firmino was fake crying through much of it, and I think she learned French partway through. I wasn't sure. Willa had a stuffed manatee that she danced with, and they lip-synced the whole thing perfectly. It was surreal and strange and brilliant. I love that act. Still one of my all-time favorites. Thank you. Who's out there? Which one of you? Oh. Nice job. All right. And now we are set up for a drum act, right? And this is Rowan on drums. Let's hear it for him. That is a heck of a drum set for that little girl. That's fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so next up, we have two dance acts. First, we have Farhan, followed by Nate. Here we go. That was awesome. Okay, next up we have two comedy acts. First we have Piper, Abby, Maxine, and Grace, followed by Juliana, Briar, and Emma. Here we go.
Now 2, Barbie, Ken, and the DJ in the background.
That's all I get? Can we do Bob or something like that?
Be chill like a surfer dude, Bob.
I'm not a super dude, I'm a DJ dude.
Gotta go talk to Barbie. I am such a man.
Hi, Barbie.
Oh, hi, Ken. Wanna go for a ride? Oh, sure, Ken.
Jump in.
I'm a Barbie.
What the thing for him, people?
Seriously? Take it down a notch.
Let's do this.
Again? I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. I'm made of plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair and dress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
We're here, Barbie.
Thanks for the ride, Ken.
No problem, Barbie.
I'm a Barbie man. Another notch. I'm a Barbie man with a Barbie tan. I'm made of plastic. It's fantastic. You can flex my arms because I'm really strong. Imagination, life is Ken's creation. I'm a manly man. No, you're not. Let's go, Barbie.
I need to move on my hair. False alarm, people. False alarm.
Thank you.
Thank you for the wondrous applause.
Get off the seat. Thank you.
We need to have a talk about this, Barbie.
I'm a DJ dude with the DJ group. Every DJ station. All you gotta do is bow, kid.
It's all over the station.
Here's Barbie. Barbie. Go. Bob. 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 Thank you.
Thanks, people.
Man, I'm loving this. All right. Next up, we have a dance act. We have Maddie and Hallie. Let's welcome them to the stage.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song.
next up, we have Katie on the ukulele performing Riptide.
I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. Oh, all my friends are turning green. You're the magician's assistant in their dreams. Whoa, whoa, and they come unstuck. Later, running down to the riptide, taken away from the dark side. I'm gonna be your left-hand man, and I love you when you're singing that song. And I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong.
Alrighty, so next up, we have another drum act. I'm very excited about these drum acts. We've only had like one other drum act in the 5 years we've done this, and this year we get 2. Gotta love it. All right, so here is Elsie on the drum. Nice job. Okay, as we get set up for our next act, I want to look back at 2013, and there's 2 performances that year that really stood out for me. One was Peyton Griner singing Hallelujah, Surrounded by Candles, as a tribute to Sandy Hook. It was emotional and wonderful and powerful. And then the other one from that year that always stands out for me was Liz Nodia singing Girl on Fire. There's a little story behind that one. What I remember about Girl on Fire was backstage before the show, Liz says to me that she was worried. She's not sure she can do it. And I told her she'd be incredible. All she had to do was go out there and do it. So she's at the piano and I'm watching her. And the song, you know, it starts kind of slowly, right? And then it gets to the ho, right? And the lines are like, she's got her head in their clouds and she's not backing down. And then there's a beat, beat. And then it hits the big line from the song, which is... Okay, and Liz did that and it was amazing. She hit that so perfectly. And it sent chills down my spine. And I think everybody, and there was applause in the audience. It was this fantastic moment. And it just really struck me as what this show is all about and the opportunity it gives kids. And that's one that I'll always remember. All right, looks like we are set up for a performance of America the Beautiful by Abraham, Janan, and Rana.
Beautiful
How about a round of applause for our stagehands? Thank you, moms. All right, our last act of the first act is what I mentioned before, the Bollywood dance with Avani, Anjali, Akshita, Diksha, Thara, and Vismitha. Let's hear it for them. All right. Are we ready for Act 2? Yeah! Me too. All right. Our first act of Act 2 is some stand-up comedy from Joey. Come on out, everybody.
Knock, knock. Control freak. Okay, now you say, control freak who? So I'm going to London in a few months, and I was wondering, how can you be late for anything in London? There's a huge clock right in the middle of town. Knock, knock. Hannah. Hannah partridge in a pear tree. Speaking of foreign countries, in ancient Egypt, cats were renowned as gods. Cats remember this. What do you call... Wait. What's the difference between a guitar and a fish? You can't Tuna fish. What does a nosy pepper do? It gets all up in your business. What do lawyers wear to court? Lawsuits. What do you call a fake noodle? A impasta. What do you call security guards working outside Samsung shops? Guardians of the Galaxy. Why did the comedian cross the stage? To get to the end of the act, of course.
All right, our next act, we have Jenna and Elizabeth performing Fountain Rock. All right, now it's time for Piano Selections Part 3. We have two fantastic players for you, Anish and Pat. That was awesome. All right, next up we have Abby playing Allegro on the viola. All right, next up we have piano selections, part 4. We have Amon and Gary. All right, as we get set up for our next act, I wanted to share a couple of memories from that very first Wickham's Got Talent. And the first act that I always remember from that show was, Magic Joey. That's what we called him. As Joey just did the stand-up comedy a minute ago for you. I think the act was actually called Illusions by Joey, but for the next year we called him Magic Joey in my house because my kids loved the act. And the trick that he had was these 4 lollipops. They go into his top hat, he says some magic words, and they disappear. So he puts them in the top hat, he says the magic words, he looks down, and he looks up and he goes, well, that didn't work. I guess I'll have to try it again. So what did he do? He did the magic words again, he tried it again, and they disappeared and it worked. I mean, you got to give the kid credit, right? 2nd grade, trick doesn't work, he keeps going, he makes it work. It was very cool. It was a very good moment. And then my last favorite act from the past 5 years was in that first show. It was called Calling All the Monsters. And this was a dance act where these 2 kids are in a graveyard, and these 3 monsters come out, a werewolf, vampire, and I think it was Frankenstein's monster. And the best thing about the act was it told a fun story, you know, and there was costumes, they were scary monsters that suddenly broke out into dance. I believe there was even like an Irish dance at one point. It was great. And of course, I can't do it. And of course, it was an act that my daughter was in. And I, you know, if I were going to make a real list of all my favorite acts, it'd be all the acts my kids were in. But because I feel so grateful to Wickham, to all of the volunteers, this C.C.P.A., for allowing us to do this show, and for me to get the opportunity to see my kids perform. It means the world to me, and I know you feel that way when you get to see your kids perform too. It's a great feeling, and I'm just so happy to have been doing this for the last 5 years. Okay. Yeah, all right. So our next two acts, first we have Jenna singing Gold, followed by Margot, Madeline, and Isabella singing Flashlight. Here we go.
You were walking on the moon, and now you're feeling what they said wasn't true. You're beautiful. Sticks and stones break your bones. I know what you're feeling. Words like those won't steal your glow. You're one in a million. This is for all the girls, boys all over the world. Whatever you've been told, you're worth more than gold. So hold your head up high. It's your time to shine. From the inside out, it shows you're worth more than gold. You're worth more than gold. When everybody keeps score, afraid you're gonna lose, just ignore, 'cause they don't know the real you. All the rain in the sky can't put out your fire. Of all the stars out tonight, you shine brighter. This is for all the girls, boys all over the world. Whatever you've been told, you're worth more than gold. So hold your head up high. It's your time to shine. From the inside out, it shows you're worth more than gold. You're worth more than gold. So don't let anybody tell you that you're not loved. And don't let anybody tell you that you're not enough. Because you're worth more than gold. So don't be ashamed to wear your crown. You're king, you're queen, inside and out. You go like the moon, you shine like the stars. This is for you wherever you are. Come on. This is for all the girls, boys all over the world. Whatever you've been told, you're worth more than gold. So hold your head up high. It's your time to shine. From the inside out, it shows you're worth more than gold. You're worth more than gold. So don't be ashamed to wear your crown. You're king, you're queen, inside and out.
When tomorrow comes, I'll be on my own, feeling frightened of the things that I don't know. When tomorrow comes, when tomorrow comes, when tomorrow comes. Although the road is long, I look up to the sky, and all the dark I found, I lost hope I don't die. And I sing along, and I sing along, and I sing along. I got a light when I got you and I. Looking around me is here light. Stuck in the dark, feel the dark side. Getting me through the night. my flashlight, getting me through the night.
All right, our next act is a Taekwondo demonstration by Ryan. Let's hear it for him. All right, and let's hear it for Ryan's mom, Candy. Woo! All right, our next three acts, we have first Samantha singing Santa Fe. Then we have Marley and Mackenzie dancing to Wings. And finally, we have now Bryn and Kara dancing to 24/7.
They do in Santa Fe. Where does it say you gotta live and die here? Where does it say a guy can't catch a break? Why should you only take what you're given? Why should you spend your whole life living trapped where there ain't no future? Even at 17, breaking your back for someone else's sake. Life don't seem to suit ya, how about a change of scene? Far from the lousy headlines and the deadlines in between. Santa Fe, my old friend, I can't though I know that's all they seem inclined to do. I ain't getting any younger, and I want to start brand new. I need space and fresh air, and I'm laughing in my face. I don't care, save my place. I'll be there. Just be real is all I'm asking. Not some painting in my head. 'Cause I'm dead if I can't count on you today. I've got nothing if I ain't got
no forever, 'cause there is no
All right, our next two acts are dance acts. Please welcome first Haley and then Cameron.
Get on my elevator, baby, we're going up. Give me that navigator, I can't get enough. So much to discover, please don't stop me now. Every time I touch it, they're flying off the ground. Let them go, all the ones trying to get in the door. I will go where they all couldn't go. Up above, up above, up above. Oh, I know we can get higher. There's levels to your love. Yeah, there's levels to your love. And I know we can get higher. There's levels to your love. And I keep on climbing up. Walking upon the ceiling, dancing upon the wall. All of this heat keep rising, make you stop, dropping low. I'm bottling up the lightning, supernatural. Let them go, all the ones trying to get in the door. I'ma go where they all couldn't go. Up above, up above, up above. Yeah, I know we can get higher. There's levels to your love. Yeah, there's levels to your love. And I know we can get higher. There's levels to your love. And I keep on climbing up.
Well, you done me in your bed, I felt it. I tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my best. This and nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some. Who I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to complicate. Our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours. Do you want to come on? I scooch on over closer, dear, and I wanna blow your ear. I've been spending way too long checking my tongue in the mirror and bending over backwards just to try to see you clearer. But my breath fogged up the glass, and so I drew a new face and I laughed. I guess what I've been saying is there ain't no better reason to rid yourself of vanities and just go with the seasons. It's what we aim to do. Our name is our virtue, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. I look into your heart and you'll find that the sky is yours. So please don't, please don't, please don't. There's no need to complicate, 'cause our time is short. This is our fate.
Wow. That was amazing. Okay, our next act is a comedy act, Penguins Got Talent, with Sammy, Emily, and Hannah.
My name is Fishy, and I'm going to be doing the best gymnastics this town has ever seen. Cartwheel, handstand.
Terrible.
My name is Fluffy, and I'm going to do a dance.
Terrible.
My name is Pup.
Terrible.
Wait, we have one more act. Together. Oh yeah, we got the moves.
What do you call a snail on a ship?
What?
A snailer.
And I have 14 apples, and you have 10 ice cubes. How many picnics will fit on the roof?
How many?
Purple, because aliens don't wear hats.
Oh. What is the slippiest country?
What?
Greece.
Why did the banana go to the hospital?
Why?
Because he wasn't peeling up.
What did one eye say to the other?
What?
Between you and me, something really smells.
What starts with the entity? It only has one letter in it.
What?
An envelope. What is the tallest building in the world?
What?
The library, because it has the most stories.
Your score is -2 out of 557.523415.
That got them down. We're never going to be in Penguins Got Talent again. Penguins rock again.
All right, we're almost toward the end. I do want to do some thank yous. First of all, thank you to all your parents for supporting your kids on this endeavor. It's so important that you do that, so thank you. Also want to thank our volunteers, Liz Crocco, Denise Vanderwig, Sanjana Raghavan, Melissa Nielsen, Marika Nielsen, Rebecca Russell, Christy Bollier, Sarah Gretter, Sally Strang, Jeff Wagner, Jenny Struthers, Melinda Thomas, Nikki Morris, Carol Jorman, and Laura Daly. And there's been some other teachers that I forgot, but thank you to the teachers also who helped out. Thank you all. Also, I want to let you know that we will be doing a video. It's time to take them back. Yeah. Okay, we will be doing a video of the show like we always do. Thank you to Coral Vision for making that happen. And we'll send out an email with the information about how to order that. We'll do that ordering online. Okay, and then I did want to let you know that after our last acts, we do, for the first time ever, have a few awards to give out. And we don't give out awards for the best act or anything like that. We're not America's Got Talent, we're Wickham's Got Talent, and every act is awesome. But there are some performers who we feel we should single out for some recognition. So we're going to do that right after the last act. But let's get to those last few acts. We have 3 dance acts to end the show. First up is Olivia, followed by Anna, and our last act is Piper And coming back from junior high, Kaylin.
Why did they leave me all by myself? Why did they use me and break me down? Why did they hurt me? Why did they leave me? Why doesn't anybody stick around? Why am I not numb to this? Why can't I let it all outside my mind? Don't let me sit here collecting dust, but please be careful. Please be kind. Why doesn't anyone stay here? Why do they leave me? Not they realize I'm a person and I'm lost, alone, unsure, kind in your small fragile, helpless,
All right. In honor of our 5th year, I went back and I looked at all the acts we've done over the year, and I found that there are 9 6th graders who have performed in all 5 shows. And we're going to honor them tonight. But before we get to that, I need to talk to a 5th grader who's also been in all 5 shows. So, Anish, can you come on out here, please? Hello, my friend. So, you're in 5th grade, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you're going to pass 5th grade, right, and make it on to 6th grade?
Hopefully.
Who's your teacher?
Michelle Schindler.
All right, so she's not here tonight, is she? No? All right, well, I'll check with her and make sure you pass. So we'll make sure you get here. So next year, if you come back and perform in Wickham's Got Talent, you will be the only Wickham kid to have performed in all 6 Wickham Got Talent shows. So we have a question for you. Are you coming back?
Yes.
Whew! All right, well then maybe next year we might just have an award for you. Now off you go! All right, let's celebrate our 9 6th graders who have performed in all 5 shows. Our first award recipient is a dancer. She shined her very first year as a 2nd grader, dancing to the song Dynamite with 2 friends. That act ended with confetti all over the stage, and we banned confetti after that, but she does not need to throw confetti around because her dancing alone is mesmerizing. Please give a round of applause to Piper Brady. All right, next, you stay right there. Our next performer is also a dancer. Sometimes she went solo, like her first year when she also danced to the song Dynamite. Other times, she danced with a friend, and the one thing we were always sure of was the dance would be exciting to watch, and there'd be some sort of backbend or twist or some move that would make you go, how did she do that? Let's hear it for Olivia Casebold. Our next performer is a piano player, and every year he has amazed us as his fingers have danced across the ivories. I'm going to tell you a little secret. I often end the piano players with someone I know who will deliver a really good performance. And once I heard this guy play, I knew he could always be my closer. Welcome the talented Gary Chen. All right. Our next performer started out dancing and then moved on to singing. And for the first 4 years, she was part of a duet where she was a cowgirl, a monster, a donkey, and a good witch. But this year, she struck out on her own, delivering a great rendition of Santa Fe from the musical Newsies. Let's hear it for Samantha Greco! I'm going to introduce our next 3 together because every year they perform together. They started out dancing, and in fact, they also danced to the song Dynamite that first year. We all knew the lyrics to that song when that show was over. Later on, they switched to comedy skits, which they wrote themselves. And you know them as the Penguins. Please, big round of applause for Sammy Faldudo, Emily Granfield, and Hana Kitamoto. And I've already told you a little bit about our next performer. He started with magic and then transformed into a comedian. It's been a lot of fun to watch him grow as a performer each year with impeccable comic timing and just the slightest grin as the joke lands. He is so much fun to watch. Give a big round of applause to Joey Polyak! Tonight, I've also talked a little bit about our last performer. She has a lovely voice and great stage presence. From Maybe to Popular to Gold, her performances are always great. She understands the emotions of the song she sings, which brings us all into the moment with her. So much talent. Please welcome to the stage, Jenna Uten. Yeah. One more round of applause. All right, let's bring out all of our sixth graders. Come on out, sixth graders, and join your friends here. Come on out, sixth graders, sixth graders, sixth graders. One more time. Here we go. And bow. All right, and then back up that way. And we got the fifth graders. Here come the fifth graders. Come on, fifth graders. Come on out, come on out. Come on, fifth graders. And bow, fifth graders. Yeah. And back up. Let's do the fourth graders. Fourth graders, here they come, here they come. They're moving fast. Wow, there's a lot of fourth graders. All right, bow, fourth graders. Good job. All right, third graders. Here they come, here they come, here they come. Yeah. Yeah. Third graders, give a bow. And the second graders. And let's bow, second graders. Bow. 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 Okay, great bowing. All right. And the first graders and the kindergartners, come on out together. And bow. And the kindergartners. And the kindergartners. We have two kindergartners. Oh my gosh. Kindergarten, people. Kindergarten. Let's hear it for them. Wickham's got talent.
So we would like to thank Matt for the 5th year of Wickham's Got Talent and of how much work he's put in to this show for us. So we'd like to give him a big round of applause.
And we're done. Good night.
Night.